This mindfulness candle here because it's one of those kind of days, y'all. Mindfulness. Watch your thoughts. So I decided to get on briefly and talk about the synchronicities and intuitive feelings I got because they're so important. So I decided to share them because I didn't want to be in any selfish, self absorbed type of energy. We're actually supposed to be helping. So if you know somebody that's sick right now or somebody that's low in spirits, lift them up. Speak something positive in someone else's life today. Speak something positive about your life. Find some way to say positive things about your life and anyone that has helped you and anyone that you're helping. Okay? All right. So today is a destiny day. It's focusing on your life purpose, focusing on spiritual growth today. You may want to do a very short list of a few things that you're going to do today that will help your spiritual health and mindset. So I don't know if any of you are into reading books about mindset and mindfulness, especially about money, because if you're not mindful about your money right now, then the protection is not going to work. So some of y'all have a life purpose or destinies being protected right now. And this means listening more than speaking. Whenever you feel like your purpose is being protected, that you're kind of in an isolation type of energy, it's because the creator want you to listen more so that your mental health is protected. It could be that something could go good and then somebody might come with negative energy. So expect people to try to uh, disrupt your voice. You may have people trying to cut you off when you're talking or technology cutting out. It's just the low vibrational energy is like in that envy energy. So it's going to interrupt or whatever. So just, cut people off in silence today. Like if you don't like how somebody's speaking to you, just be like, I'm done. Don't even get into an argument with the people about it. So I decided not to get on video since there's low vibrational energy that's struggling to get high vibe. So I really don't want to be exposed to it. So let me burn some sage, y'all. I can feel it. There's a lot of anxiety energy. The energy is starting to get heavy. People internalizing their emotions and not speaking their truth. And what happens is people start putting out low vibration and it starts affecting the high vibrational people. You know, one thing I found out is that if your spirits are low, you're better off helping more. Like I know when people spirits are low and they're thinking about their trauma and they're thinking about um their losses, that they be like, "Oh, I quit." But that's the time that you're not supposed to quit. That's the time when you should actually do your destiny more. It's kind of like a challenge since your spirits are low. Like it's almost like you do your destiny and don't even worry about whether your spirit was low and the reason why. You just, you do it because you do it because you just can't waste the time, the gift of time you've been given. You may not be able to do a lot when your spirits are low, but you can still do something. You can still do something in your destiny. When I feel like I can't write a lot for the day, then I know that I'm supposed to be teaching writing more. I'm supposed to be inspiring, or I'm supposed to be reflecting on the writing that I already did and seeing how that will get me to eventually start writing again. The point is, when you feel like your spirits are low, it's probably a time for you to look into how to not give up. And I'm not talking about motivational coaches. I'm talking about solutions that will make you not want to give up. Hi, everybody. Burning some incense here, some sage. Okay. That screen looks a little foggy, y'all. Let me see if I could wipe it off here and it get a little bit brighter. Okay, it did. So the hearing came out. I decided to still do oracles sometime. I don't want to do anything else. But the oracles that I do is with animals. I don't do anything to do with people because I find that it creates anxiety. Like when you get into using resources and getting guidance from random people, you know, people that you don't know whether they made a positive impact on society or just random people showing up in your on your path, it starts to feel like um, it just starts to feel like you may be surrendering some control of your life or your spirit. So I find that that's impossible to do if you let the animals guide you. So it's because they know that we're in charge. So it's like they're not really trying to cross our boundaries. And if they do attack, it's that's just their nature. It's not nothing personal. Like when a shark attacks a human being, it's not personal. When a bear attacks a human being, it's not personal unless you like attack the bear first. But I find that connecting more with nature is an important part of my authentic religion, spiritual religion that I do have. So, in my spiritual religion, I'm allowed to connect with the animals for guidance. We're not talking about new age stuff because my religion is, if you're going to call it new age, even though psychic stuff is not new age, but that's another topic. My spiritual belief is actually pretty old. It dates before the Christian Bible. So, and basically, because where we are living, okay, I want to talk about something. Some of y'all are not living where your spiritual animal support team exists. So, this is why you have to look for the signs on TV around you. You may need to, like, get your oracle deck. I mean, if you're not living around it, then how else are you supposed to get it? Like for real, you get what you're exposed to. You get what is on your path. But if you're not living where your spiritual animal team would be on your path, then how would you know about them? You would have to intuitively know the energy that you're in to know what animal is there, spirit animals supporting you, or you would have to use resources to get it. This is why the creator is not against all deviation. He's not against all deviation. If you're first of all, if you're too sick to use your intuition, then of course the creator is going to be like, okay, you can use some deviation, but make sure that you're doing it in the way that I do it. I send animals spiritual team, um, animal spiritual support. Our angel guides are actually like animals. I don't think a lot of people know that though. They're made of nature. They're not made of us. They only show us as us so that we don't be afraid. But really they're actually a part of nature. Okay, so I decided to give a little lesson with that. Um all right, so the heroine, it means good luck. It also means be careful of misfortune. You could be being protected. It could be that maybe somebody's plotting and planning, to take something from you, or something might have been trying to keep you locked up in your mind or imprison your destiny and it's being freed. It may not look like you're being freed right now, but if you continue on whatever new path you're on, in which your spirits seem to be more higher or more grounded, then you are being freed from that whatever prison you were in. So the heron is also about having balance with your mind and your crown chakra, your brain health. So this is a very important day to eat for your brain health. I kept feeling like I had to sit my brain vitamins on the table here. Okay, I kept feeling like that. When I redid my whole desk, I was literally asking, what do my spirit need? And I felt like I had to sit my CBD and my brain vitamin on the desk. I also felt like I had to have a white candle nearby. Um, so my brain vitamin hadn't been on my desk in like months, and suddenly I felt like I wanted a deer, and it was confirmed by the heroin energy. The heroin is a fish-eating animal, but it's also an animal that can stand on its own for a long time. It's an independent animal. It doesn't actually need an entourage. It can be amongst a crowd of people and still be okay with not with being an outsider. It's comfortable being an outsider. It's not really a tribal animal. So if you enter a group and suddenly you feel like, yeah, you're beautiful, yeah, you're doing beautiful work, but you're like made to feel like an outsider, you need to work on being comfortable with that and just focus on the fact that you spoke your truth and you're being authentic, and that's good enough. That's good enough. It's not about whether anyone makes you feel you belong. It's about if you're being authentic. Hi, everybody. Who we have in here? We have Chief. Hi, Chief. I'm having me some cranberries. I decided to have me some berries because I think certain birds do eat berries. I'm thinking about how some of the birds, they would eat the smaller fruit. I think that we have big game energy already, especially when we're thinking about the what is it? The animal. I keep seeing this animal in my mind and I can't think of the name of this animal. What is this animal? Can't think of it. Maybe some of y'all could think of this animal. The animal I keep seeing in my mind is a real big animal with these real big tufts on his head. Oh, okay, I guess they said it's a fire element, sacral. Okay, it's a sacral chakra. So it's an element, it's an animal that dominates the sacral chakra. So yeah. So I guess I heard emperor. So they said emperor energy. So I guess emperors are our guides for the day. So you may want to listen to ancient um ancient wisdom that's by emperors. Like why am I getting Tibet and Dalai Lama? I got Tibet. I heard Tibet. I almost heard the word Tibet earlier, and then when I went on my phone, I saw Dalai Lama. So I think the Dalai Lama was into Tibet as well. It is the cool spiritual places that you may not think has very cool seasons. I know Tibet can get very cold at times. So yeah. Okay, I saw Eddie Murphy a couple days ago. Then I just saw Eddie Murphy's movie in my mind, The Golden Child. So I guess somebody supposed to get some gold, or is the Golden Child or the Chosen One or something. All right, so somebody gonna find out today, over the next few days, possibly the next 7 days, that they the chosen one, that they highly favored or something. Okay, something about downloads is going to prove to them that they're highly favored, or it's coming through intuitively, y'all. Something about some intelligence, a higher level of intelligence, or somebody becoming a genius, or because I heard the word genius this morning, and then I felt like I wanted to look up work that had the word genius in it. Hi, everybody. Yeah, y'all, keep your sugar intake low today. Sugar intake low. Confirmation. I just looked on my table and saw a tiger's eye. Confirmation. That's emperor energy. I didn't even know where this tiger eye was at. This tiger eye been missing for like 3 weeks and then it just showed up suddenly. That's weird. I guess my family member had it and put it on the table, but they put it behind the ashtray, so that's why I didn't see it since I don't smoke. Confirmation. Y'all, the Holy Spirit is showing up this morning. Hi, everybody. Hi, Chief. Yeah, I heard silent work. I went on Amazon and I literally saw a synchronicity. It said, learn how to teach yourself anything real fast. And I said, confirmation, because I had planned on doing private work. What I'm doing is watching videos of groups I didn't participate in. It's like almost like the Holy Spirit is saying, get group resources, but don't be in the group. That's what I'm getting. Like, go where other people are getting resources, but don't actually get involved. So what I'm doing is watching some replays of some videos of some groups I didn't join. Instead of like signing up for the next event, I'm just going to watch the replay. Hi, everybody. I got the word Zen, and I heard the quote, I'm sorry we don't have no Zen in the Zen school. And that's what I heard. Excuse me, I heard sorry we don't have no Zen in the Zen school. I wish we did. And then I heard that Zen is what you bring to the school, whatever. So basically, whatever you bring before God today is what you're going to get. That's just how powerful your mind is and your passions is. If you're real passionate about something today, that's literally what's going to come through. Because it's a Pisces eclipse. So basically, by the end of April, that's what the manifestation is going to be abundant in. So basically, whatever you're emotionally connected to, deeply internalizing is exactly where you're going to manifest. Basically, whatever resources that you keep on working with right now, because Pisces is resource energy and it's high priestess. And we're going to get into the Pisces moon for people that like to do zodiacs. We have people on this channel that got many different religions. We have Christians, Catholics, Muslims. I am neither of those, but I am a specific religion. Okay. The reason why I don't mention my religion, because religion and spiritual practices are private. And can I tell y'all something about telling people your religion? People can figure out your destiny. I know that's deep. When people watch what you do and watch what you don't do, and then they know your religion, they can pretty much figure out your process. Because every religion has a process that you must be in abundantly to even access your destiny. Praise the Most High for that download. Praise God for that download. Woo! Child. Powerful. I can feel the vibration is like all around me. Normally I'll just feel it on me, but it's like all around me. It's like I could feel like the little random little, I guess, the Holy Spirit like touching me on and off. It's like little touches or whatever. But yeah, y'all, this is why when you meet people, you need to tell them that you have a different religion. Don't tell nobody what your true religion is, y'all. Don't, y'all. Okay? Somebody will easily sit up there, especially all they got to do is think about what moon it is, what season it is, whatever you're gifted in, and all they got to do is pair it up with the religion, and they kind of got you figured out. And then especially if they know you're having a birthday, then it's like they just start to work it out. These witches ain't no joke. They researching harder than us. We think we researching God. They researching us harder than they research God. Like this is deep. These dark witches is researching us harder than they research God. Because they think they can get it without ever going to God. They trying to cheat. So keep your religion private. I'm telling y'all, if you got kids, start doing religion at home. And tell your kids, like, we don't talk about Like we don't talk about Bruno. No, no. We don't talk about our religion out in these streets. Y'all, I'm telling you. I know that y'all say, I want to spread the word of God. Y'all better start letting people come to y'all. Because the Creator say, come to me and I'll set you free. He say, come to me. And we're going to talk about the Christian Bible and Catholic Bible. They all say, God say, come to me and I'll set you free. Start letting people come to you for your guidance. This is why I no longer send video links of my live videos. I figure if somebody wants this guidance, they'll come. They'll follow my channel and they'll come for it. Because invitations sometimes are only taken because somebody want to take. So I figure like letting God decide who find you. Like that's like real talk. Like I'm on Substack, y'all. Y'all need to follow me on Substack because on Substack I share spiritual stuff and writing stuff, art related stuff. I share my dreams. I share things that I'm doing, my travels, my trips. Okay, so if y'all want to know more, y'all got to go to my Substack. I'm going to have a subscription based part of it where I'll be giving more guidance and downloads with people who subscribe, who paid a small fee. But right now I'm doing it all for free right now on Substack. You can donate. I'm going to put my donation information on my Substack. If you don't know how to get to my Substack, check the community news. I already posted the link. That is where I'm at like 80-90% of the time now. Okay? I was too much into my shadow work. I was in my shadow job. I realized it. I needed to be writing more. I needed to be around people who are really trying to be at peace spiritually. On YouTube, this is like a no holds barred type of app. You never know what energy you gonna get. But on Substack, everybody on there trying to have peace. Everybody is trying to do mindfulness on there. They're about positive work, helping each other. And so that's why I like Substack. Okay, I'm not hating on YouTube, but on Substack, if people got mental health problems, they darn sure not disrespecting other people. They sharing what they're going through, but they staying in their own lane on their own Substack. So that's why I like it, y'all. See, let me tell y'all, when it's negativity adds up and it becomes an energy obstacle. Even if you don't participate in the negativity, the energy is still there, y'all. I was watching Battleship, and I was gonna watch Battleship last week, and then my husband put it on yesterday. And I was all ready to go to sleep, and then I heard the Holy Spirit say, stay woke and listen. So I stayed woke and I listened, and I heard the guy say, Art of War, the book Art of War. And he said, how did the dude was like, how did you know how to do this? He said, you fight the enemy where the enemy is not at. And the Asian dude said, that's not what it means. And I said, I beg to differ with the Asian dude. I beg to differ because it's all about perspective. Okay, so the art of war may not mean that, but who's to say that the guy was wrong? The guy was still right though. Okay, you fight the enemy where the enemy is not at. And the enemy is not in your chosen genius ability. The enemy is not in that. The enemy is actually where the enemy skill set is appraised. You can't fight the enemy there because the enemy is abundant there. So you can fight the enemy somewhere else where your destiny is abundant. That way, if the enemy come there, the enemy is the outsider. The enemy is the imitation cell. Like on the movie Thing. The enemy would be the imitation, and people would start to sense that it is. So It's no different than saying you beat the enemy in silence. You beat the enemy where the enemy never expects you to go. The enemy expects you to be where he's at. He's vain, he's conceited, he thinks you want his power, he thinks you want his approval, or she thinks you need his approval. But when you say, no, I'm out, I could fight you over here. I could fight you on my side of the rope. We could do tug of war, but I'll be on my side, you'll be on your side. The enemy don't expect you to do that. The enemy expects you to celebrate an energy that has always been withheld from you. And for you to think that that's what you need to do to make it. For example, I'll use an example with minorities, okay? A lot of minorities feel like their voice ain't heard. So they might get into public speaking. They may get into, entrepreneurship where there's a lot of talking. The enemy expects the minority to do that. Where there's other minorities, they expect that. Because of the people that come before us, with Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, they expect us. But what they don't expect us to do is to have power in our written word. They expect us to feel like, the enemy expects us to feel like our written word can't go but so far. Our audio recordings are not going to make an impact. That we have to be seen and be heard speaking out loud. But the enemy is wrong about that. We don't need that. Okay, we don't need that. The written word is going to outlast anybody's spoken word. When this world crumbles to the ground, we're going to find books everywhere. We might not find as many human beings anymore, but we're going to find some books and we're going to find some paper. People going to actually be fighting for paper because they want to get their fires going when the sun is gone and it's cold and people got to live on this planet without the sun. People going to be fighting over paper. So my point that I'm making is we as divine ones have to realize we have infinite options of doing our destiny. We have to be willing to say, where else can I go? What else can I do? That's how birds are. I can fly south. I can fly north. I can go to this part of the river. I can go to that. Birds are going on a journey, but they're going on it in silence unless they are around their own kind. We see sparrows talking to sparrows. We don't really see sparrows running their mouth with crows. So the point that I'm saying is go where your own kind is at and explore that in peace, in silent, and in secret spiritual being. And that's what the hearing is trying to teach us to do. The hearing is also teaching us in the beauty of just a little bit of glamour. No, not necessarily to be embellished. The heron is not an embellished looking animal. It might got a little bit of color here or there, but it's not really fancy smancy as far as decorative. I saw the line the other day, kill your darlings. And then the heroine, this was 2 days ago. And I felt like I was like, I needed to meditate on a less is more type of, even more with a less is more. So I started questioning whether or not we're being tricked to see what's abundant and not abundant. I started questioning, and then I realized that we're going by if you let this world define what you're doing, you have surrender control. Like you've already started to surrender spiritual control. So, for example, let's say the world tells you there's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But there is no such thing. There's no such thing as breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's just made up to control you. Because the system knows if it says breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you're going to say, well, this is what I can eat for breakfast. You're going to go to the breakfast menu. You're going to go to the lunch menu. It's still controlling you. Create your own dictionary. Create your own dictionary definition of your lifestyle. Okay? Try not to use the words that are out there already. What I love about writing is that you can make up your own words. You can literally break up the language. You can make up a whole nother language. It requires so much freedom. But we have to start doing that outside of literature. We have to start saying, maybe I don't want to define this as love. Maybe I want to define and give it a much bigger word: life. Is this breath to me? Is this life to me? Is my marriage life? Like it's literally giving me breath? Like it's literally, I can say that it's keeping me alive in every way, even with my self esteem. Okay, then it's what I want to be in. But why do we have to define it as love? Like, or marriage? Why can't we say, what's life? What's life? What's life to me in the morning? Maybe I don't want to break it down as breakfast and prayer and meditation and hiking. Maybe I don't want to even go do it all like that. If I were to say, this is my life, the life that I know I should have, what is it in the morning? What is it? And I know because it makes me feel good. I can maintain peace when I do it. I can maintain it. Not momentarily peace. I can maintain peace when I go on slow walks. I can't maintain peace pushing myself harder and harder. No, see, I'm trying harder. Why is it trying harder to put tension on me? I could try hard without tension. Just being me. Just doing this relaxed without even putting any energy effort. That's still trying hard. I'm telling y'all no lie. We have to like unbrainwash our brain. Okay, this is a brain day. We have to our crown chakra. We have to unbrainwash our brain because the way people have taught us to think and define things is literally letting them determine what type of present day we have. I was like, I don't want to use the words that everybody's been using for every darn part of life. Grow, die, live, love, pray. Also, because we know that every single word got a dark side. We know every single word and gave us some trauma. We know this, that death, trauma, love, trauma. We know this. Eating, trauma. Okay, I don't want to use those words. I want to use something that is like, that is more powerful with always in high vibration. Breath. Silence. There's no such thing as a low vibrational silence. Like, if silence is scary, you're making it scary. It's because of your own phobias. But silence is always better than sound. It will always be better than sound. But the point, it will always prove that it will serve you more than sound. But the point that I'm making is I want to have words that has very little dark traumatic power over me or influence on my mind. Very little amount of that. Where I know most of it is like it's all going to be positive thoughts stewing, brewing in my subconsciousness. Hi everybody. Good morning. I I really think, and I'm going to just keep it real. I don't think the creator, this is my personal opinion when we talk about food, okay? 7:17 on the clock, praise the Most High. Gratitude. Thank you, Most High, for this abundance. Thank you for this Most High, for the blessing and the favors and the wisdom and the fortune that you're sending. 7:17 is a confirmation of the title of this video. Praise the Most High. I think, y'all, I got go with the flow today. If you feel like you're jumping from topic to topic, that's because you probably have like a whole flock of spiritual energy around you. People love to say people that do that is ADHD and autism. Those people are actually, because I know that I'm on the spectrum. I'm on it, and my nephews are, and I think I got a sister that's also on the spectrum or whatever. But it's funny, and I got a nephew too that's on the spectrum with that. But it's funny that people say that, but those people are actually way closer to accessing genius power quicker than we all can. So the point that I'm making is, if your mind is all scattered all over the place, you're actually in a higher vibration than most people. So don't just go with that, ADHD. Like, I realized that when you're hopping from video to video and all that type of stuff, you're actually in a high vibration, extremely high vibration. You actually have such tremendous open space. Like the little dude from the Lego movie, the Lego builder dude who said, "Every day is awesome." You're in that energy, okay? So that means everything can come through, and when you have so much space, you're going to be compelled to fill it up. So that's going to make you come off like you're ADHD, because you're just like so much coming through, but you're not. I'm not a big fan of classifying ADHD as this mental health bad problem. It's not. It's almost like they're just way more empathic than a lot of people. They are way more in tuned intuitively. It's almost like it's a very high frequency of intuitiveness. And so it's not the normal with humans. So it's classified as being a problem when it's not. Okay. Every day is awesome. Every day is awesome when you're cool in the mind. Cool in the mind. Every day is awesome. Yeah. Praise the Most High for the number 9. Independent. All the ladies making money, show your hands up at me. All the fellas making dollars, tell me what you think about me. I got my own money and I got my own rings. It's always 50-50 in relationships. Y'all high vibration today. Okay. Some people may be like, she lost her mind. No, I didn't. I did what the Dalai Lama said this morning. See, soon as I saw that quote, I obey. Soon as you see the quote, obey. Soon as you see the quote, obey. Let me tell y'all, the Creator does not send you positive life quotes for nothing. When you get a random quote, it's time to obey. I'm telling you no lie. When all of a sudden somebody give you some old brilliant quote that you be like, oh, that's a synchronicity, you need to go ahead and immediately make a plan to obey. Because it's obviously like a coin where you paying your way, to get to your fortune. It's like a coin in your casino machine. You're putting your coin in. So just obey. I saw a quote this morning that said, one positive thought in the morning hours can change your whole day. I told the Dalai Lama, I said, I ain't doing one positive thought. I'm living in 2025. I'm going to do 7. So I laid on the couch and I was like, positive thought, positive thought, positive thought, positive thought, positive thought. And then I told my family the truth about something. And I told them I respect their decision, but I just have a different decision. I have a different vision for myself. And so I didn't cross their boundaries, and I didn't cross my own or whatever, or I didn't get mine crossed. But I decided to follow the quote. The next quote said by Dalai Lama, it said something about being kind. I said, well, I guess kind is confirmation of positive thinking, because action, as Napoleon Hill say, is proof of belief. And if you have a positive mindset, and and it's a part of your belief system, your action is proof of it. So you can't say that you're positive about life. You're positive about about you being covered in favor no matter what somebody do. You can't say that and then be unkind. Okay? You're a hypocrite and you're not telling the truth. like Napoleon Hill say. So if you really believe that you're highly favored and covered no matter how toxic other people are, you still remain kind. I know it's hard to do because kindness is considered a weakness. No, what's considered a weakness is wastefulness, and it's wasteful to give to people, to give things that's worth money or that's a part of your destiny, to give that to somebody who is unkind to you. That is wasteful. That is weakness. But it's not weak being kind. You don't have to give something as a gift to be kind. You can help someone without sacrificing your fortune, even if that person is not kind. That's what it means to have compassion of someone's ignorance and bad behavior. So, for example, I stayed kind to my mother even though she was dominating. She could be insensitive at times, self-absorbed. I'm calling it what it is. I ain't trying to speak ill of the dead, but I can speak the way I want because this is my voice and I'm alive and they're supposed to hear me. The dead people, they're still alive on the other side, have to hear us, and they can't do nothing about it. But anyway, as I was saying, she had some toxic traits that was like hard to deal with at times, very hard. But I stayed kind. I stayed kind, and when she went over and when she passed, when she crossed, I got the abundance I was supposed to get. We love to talk about some of the famous quotes that some women in history have said, like when people go low, I go high, like Michelle Obama, go high, going high, staying kind and soft when everybody else ain't. That's going high. Okay? My family is not soft. Nothing about them is soft. Okay? They can be harsh, they can be smart mouth, they could gut check you, they'll hit you right below the belt in a minute. So it's like really hard to stay soft in my family. But I realize it's a challenge for me, but it's a major challenge that would unlock abundance for me. So I accept the challenge. Sometimes a sense of being and behavior in you constantly being tested is a major challenge that will determine whether you will get your next flow of abundance. Praise the Most High for that download. I know the society has taught a lot of us, you're a coward, you're a pushover, you're desperate, you're thirsty, you're codependent. You're not codependent being kind. You are codependent if you expect someone to do things for you that you could do for you just to prove, just to make you feel good, just to make you feel strong. That's codependent. That's codependent. Feeling like, oh, you just can't do it for yourself unless they do it. That's codependent. But being kind is never codependent. Yesterday, I felt like I wanted to watch the movie The White Tiger. And And I said, okay, confirmation. The Creator do not want none of us divine ones glamorize being kept at average, being forced to be average. No, no. Now, I'm not saying you go do what the white tiger dude did. No. He did it the dark way. He did it the dark way. He did it the instant gratification, dark devil way. But you have a right to decide you will not follow the tribe when all the tribe is hitting the wall. All of them is in bitterness, dryness, weakness, insecurity, and all of that. No, you have a right to leave the tribe then. I had to leave my family. I had to stop running for them. I had to stop attending holidays and everything because their bitterness and their hopelessness was keeping me in chains, spiritual chains. You know, that hopeless feeling keeps you from getting the intuitive downloads that will lead you to a solution. So you have to leave so that your intuition will lead you to the solution. That's why you have to leave broken down tribes like Scars and, like the Lion King Scar and the hyenas. You have to leave them. You have to stay away from their bone graveyard. They're hanging out in the bone graveyard waiting for somebody to go by to eat them rather than going on their own hunt. You have to stay away from that. And if your family is happy with just having enough so they don't drop dead, then you have to go on. You have to be willing to be like the heron. Like, I guess I'll be a monk traveling in this world by myself. I'll be the one man show here. Like when you go to the zoo and you see the herons, sometimes they just standing there or whatever. You like, they don't care about having no friends or nothing. It's not that. It's just that their mind, their body's there, but their mind is going wherever it wants to go because it's not in spiritual chains. It's not dependent on anybody but its own energy flow. People are going by the society definition of what a tribe is. A tribe is a group of people to celebrate your individuality, to celebrate your individual destiny and mission. It doesn't say we all have to be in the same broken down energy. No. I love that movie White Tiger because it's often an omen when I see the ad, because then it lets me know, okay, I guess somebody trying to pull me into some weak energy with them. I'm like, who's doing this? Who wants me to do that with them? And I'm not doing it. Hi, everybody. Now, as I was about to say 10 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago in this video, I really think the Creator I think we've been lied to about food. And I'm talking about this because the spiritual energy is abundant today. So you need to be extra mindful about food. The devil's going to try to attack you through food if it can't attack you through conversation. If it can't attack you out in society, it'll come through food. Food is like the number one spiritual thing. You could be locked in a prison and never see outside, but the food will still keep you connected to God. So my point that I'm making is we have been lied to about food. Okay? Your food, you don't even get to pick your food. God is picking your food. God has picked food for each one of us. And that's the truth. If you're going by the food pyramid, you're going to be blocked from your destiny. God chooses your food. Now, I seriously believe universally with the whole world. Notice I'm making up words, y'all, universally. I'm making up words. It's fun to make up words like kids do. Universally, most of us, I believe 90% of the world was not even supposed to eat any red meat unless it was a last resort. I don't care what we're taught with the Native American tribes. I think that's a last resort food. But society is tricking us to want it through making it more affordable. Why do you think that the red meat keeps going on sale? Y'all think that's by accident? Y'all think that's by accident that you can get ground beef on sale every week almost? I had to tell my family members, just because that meat is on sale don't mean you just, that's what the meat, I get to eat that meat every day. That's a last resort meat. That's meat that you don't even got to fight for to get. Like, that's just deep. That's just deep. You got to fight to get a fish. You got to fight to get a fish. Okay? Even the animals in the ocean got to fight to get the fish unless they're a lot larger, like a whale or a shark. I don't think that we are staying in our ancestors' energy like we think we are. We have to be in our energy even when we're grocery shopping. We have to still have been in that energy as we're shopping, as if we still kind of fought for our food. Now, and I know we like to think 9 to 5 job fighting for our food. Actually, no, it's not. Because you know that they got to send you your check. Okay? But energetically, you could rest. You could have got off work, rested, and got yourself together before going to go spend your money on food. So then it doesn't feel like you fight for your food. But let's say that you was completely exhausted almost. You were like pushed to the edge by the time you got off work, and then you immediately went grocery shopping. That would be like you're fighting for your food. I know people say don't shop hungry, but I really think we're supposed to shop a little tired, a little anxious, a little determined. I think shopping for food is supposed to be, I'm in determined energy, and not like our food is always a privilege. Food is not always a privilege. It's a privilege to have it available to you, but it's not always a privilege to be able to get it. I know, I know this is deep, but I'm finding that the season has passed almost for being able to eat red meat. I'm talking about the real bloody meat, like the ground meat, and like I still consider steak and cow to be red meat and not approved. I'm not trying to insult any cultures, but I know several cultures that glamorize eating red meat, and if you ever look, they're dealing with diabetes, obesity, they're dealing with all kind of problems. I was talking to God this morning about beef, and I heard beef gets you beefy, and I said, oh wow. I can remember how kinder my family was before they started eating beef on a regular and steak. I know we say steak is expensive to eat, but everything expensive ain't abundant. Marriage can be expensive. It doesn't mean it's abundant. Y'all. I'm actually going to be shocking my family members. I plan to sit them down very soon and let them know that I don't really want them preparing my food anymore, because they're eating food whose season is basically past. The cow season has been passed. The animal wasn't even supposed to be here. I know y'all thinking what has been born. Everything born don't mean it's supposed to be here, y'all. Like, for real. And not for us, not always for us. Not always for us. It could be the devil created that animal. So I'm saying, what I'm saying is, Anything that doesn't there's too much of a mutation of God's genetic coding. It is more susceptible to be possessed by elite demons. And I believe that as nice as a cow look, it's still possessed by a demon, y'all. And the reason why I say is, what more do a cow do? What journey do a cow go on? What work do a cow do other than eat, sit around? See what I'm saying? Like, let's keep it real. And it doesn't even produce so many enough cows, abundant cows. Like salmon has a lot of eggs, and it's not really it's not really doing God's work like we think, y'all. Okay. And really, we don't need milk after babies. The human race can thrive mostly on meat. So it's like, what's up with that? I didn't see cows walking with Jesus. I'm just saying, if we're gonna go by the Bible, we're gonna go by Bibles. If did any of the saints walk with cows? No, they had goats, and some of them even had chickens. But the point that I'm making is, I think that a lot of us are not vibrating as high, not just because of our life trauma. We can't even get through the trauma because we're eating forbidden food. And we think it's not forbidden because it's on the food pyramid and because it wasn't said forbidden in the Bible. We say the Bible, our religion, did not say I couldn't eat it, so I'm going to eat it. But we have to remember that some of that food was not around when the Bibles were written. That's deep, though. I mean, do anybody see any fossil fuels of cows? No. Y'all. So I think that if you're a minority, you need to run like hell from red meat, especially. Run like hell. I know some of y'all can't go outside. Y'all might be, social anxiety, but can I tell you, no live food can be the reason why you're feeling that. I know you might say just what you remember and what you've gone through, but food can raise your energy to a positive level when it is approved by God. It can raise your energy to a positive level, and then you will be able to go out in society fearless. We was not meant to carry the weight that we be carrying all the time. And sometimes we may laugh, and it's just momentarily a break from feeling the weight that we're carrying. But I'm telling y'all, if you're eating beef and you ever just like chill more and you're not in that laughing energy, you will feel the weight of that cow just from one beef patty. When you rest enough, you'll be like, wow, this energy heavy. But you won't feel that eating fish. Why? Because fish is overly abundant. It would be wasteful not to eat them. It's not that you're killing fish. It's just that it would be wasteful not to eat them. They produce a lot more than we do in one interaction. So as long as they're in high abundance, we don't fall into judgment eating them. But they also have to be fish that travel through waters that would purify them. Meaning they don't glamorize laying in their own filth like pigs do. That they basically have colon cleanses using the ocean. But there's fish that don't. They don't use the ocean for colon cleanses. They basically they basically let other things rub up against them and get rid of their toxins. Basically, they just pass their toxins on to another fish. And we know the humans do that as well through like STDs and different things like that and sex. But the point that I'm making is that food needs to be taken a lot more seriously. When you have a day of enlightenment and you're going to do breath work and meditation and affirmation, you have to be extra strict. You have to prepare your food as if God was preparing your food. That means you have to actually salt your food. You have to kosher. If you don't know the kosher prayer of the Mashkia, then you need to actually salt your food. That way, your spiritual vibration is protected. Now, I know some people say, I don't eat chicken. Chickens, we got to understand that chickens don't have the capability of cleaning up behind themselves. They are only living in filth because people are allowing them to live in filth. The farmer is keeping them filthy. But chicken is still abundant. Chicken is willing to give up its babies, and it's not even like fighting us like crazy. It's an animal that wants to give to us some part that is similar to who we were before we were born. So chicken is not actually a cursed animal. It's the way they're treated that make people think that they're cursed. Now, I'm getting into this when I'm talking about food. I'm not going to get into no food battles because I know that the vegan people, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, there are vegetables that are forbidden to eat. I know people think that every vegetable. No. Any vegetable that would challenge you so much that it would do a sneak attack on your system. That vegetable's not really for eating. Not for us. Not for us. And there's vegetables that do sneak attacks on you. You say, oh, it tastes good, I'm fine. But then a couple hours later, you're hurting inside your body. You're burning. And it's not like your allergy. The doctors will say it's an allergy. No, it's not. It's the vegetable punishing you. It's not respecting that you are the boss. You have the last say whether it lives or dies. It's not respecting that. It's retaliating. We are at the top of the food chain. And if it's going to retaliate, then it's being extra disrespectful. So, y'all, I've been getting deep. So the vegetables that actually attack you, you're supposed to treat that like you're eating a little bit of devil food. Those foods are only for emergencies. When you have something real sick in your body that refuses to get out. It's kind of like you're scaring it out, like you're using a demon to scare another demon out of your body. That's what it'd be like to eat certain vegetables. Okay? I decided to decrease my vegetables down to such a small amount. We're talking about the most ridiculous small amount of vegetables compared to what humans eat. My palm size of vegetable is literally one little palm of vegetables. Cabbage, lettuce, and a little bit of kale. Potatoes is okay. They don't retaliate. They don't attack. But kale does, and a lot of other vegetables do. So I eat a very small amount. Okay? Do you know the devil has his versions of vegetables to make you want to get the vitamin from him than God? Yet when the vitamin is absorbed in your stomach, it's under attack by the devil's toxins. So some of the vitamin you don't even get. This is deep, y'all. This is deep. So for example, when you're told eat leafy vegetables to get vitamin B, right? And iron. Yet there is food that's far more abundant in iron than some damn leafy vegetable. Yet cucumbers, they don't really attack you. They don't retaliate, yet they have vitamin B. So y'all see what I'm saying? Like you're told, eat turnip greens to get magnesium. Yet turnip greens attack you. Yeah, you can get plenty of magnesium from zucchini. You can get magnesium from zucchini and you won't be attacked. The leafy vegetables, I believe that they are conscious, aware, and they are alive and they know exactly what's happening to them. We might not want to believe it, but they do. And they know our stomach is not the world that they grew up in. So they attack our stomach like our stomach is an intruder. So I'm saying this because the Pisces eclipse is testing to see what you're going to consume, okay? Being mindful of consumption, not overdoing it, not watching too much TV, not eating too much unhealthy food. When you internalize your emotions, you start not being aware that you're mixing the devil's food with the holy food. You don't think that because you say it's on the food pyramid. You say, well, this is how I was raised. You know, you start going into your childhood memories thinking this is what my mama did. But mama wasn't always right in the kitchen. Mama wasn't always right in the kitchen. It's time. I know some of y'all may be thinking about your mama, your dad with the Cancer moon and the Pisces and all that. It's time for you to customize your own life and question your upbringing, whether they're alive or not. Say, was mama just going by what she learned in school? We learned that the schools ain't always honest. Look at the Christopher Columbus situation. Once that came out with Christopher Columbus, we should have been questioning every damn thing in the school system. Everything at that point. Because what more lie bigger? What other lie? What lie could get bigger than that? Lying about somebody discovering a whole country or a whole land. So we need to question everything now. We need to question why things are being defined that they're given. Why did America, especially America, why did America name these things this? And why is it telling us to have this at this time? And why is it not telling us what else it can do? We was never told that vegetables can attack. I never heard that growing up. But that just goes to show, you know, how it was trying to control us. Some vegetables can attack. I never heard that. And I feel bad because by me not knowing that, I was ignorant and I exposed my daughter to that ignorance. I'm just glad that I did it in a small amount, though. I did it in a small amount. But I can remember a few times my daughter saying, I don't feel right. I feel like I was drugged, or I feel like, Mom, that something is messing with my body. I remember my daughter actually saying that. And I think about that now, like, okay, it was like the vegetables was attacking her. And I notice now, like, she goes all day without eating vegetables. She goes all day without eating salads and all that. Like, the only thing my daughter literally eats is meat and potatoes and maybe a tiny small salad. She mostly does like one meal a day. But and she has like a super small waist. Like, her waist is smaller than Marilyn Monroe's. And it's not like it's because of her age, because we all know there's plenty of 20, 30-year-olds that are obese now. So it's not that. It's that she's not putting things in her body that is disrupting her frequency. Frequency instability will definitely make you gain weight. Because you'll keep on trying different things to get it stable. You know, to get rid of the pain that's confirming that your frequency's unstable. You'll try different things. So what will happen is you'll waste money trying different things. You'll eat different things, which will be a waste of money. And you'll put on weight because you're eating extra calories, trying different food. I think that a lot of us, until we can actually figure out the most healthy, spiritually healthy diet that we could possibly eat, that God has chosen for us personally to eat, where we have got confirmation with the level of our vibration. I think we just need to stop eating and just start planning that diet. Like, be like, I'm just gonna go on a 3-day fast to get this diet maximized, so that I'm up there. My vibration is so high, my mind is so high that I'm up there. Like, people think I'm just a genius, that I'm just permanently tapped in, that I've been tapped in my whole life. People will think that about me. We should never have to meditate our way into God's world. That's like wow. Meditation should be able to happen in 2-3 seconds. Otherwise, we're under attack. 2-3 seconds, 2-3 seconds is actually not quick. To the angels, that's like 15 minutes, because they move a lot faster than us. So we're actually taking a long time in meditating. We're making them wait longer when we're meditating for 3 seconds. But a lot of us are meditating for like 15 minutes. That's like an hour on their side. That's how slow we are to them. Y'all, this is a deep conversation. Okay, y'all got to get ready. Go get some fresh air. I did hear be careful outside on the road. Watch out for the police, y'all. And please be careful of people who are on their motorcycles. I saw 2 motorcycle crashes at different times on TV. I saw it on the news, and then I walked in and saw it on a movie out of nowhere. So just be careful when you're driving, that you don't run over no bicycling people, or just be careful of like hitting birds. You want to avoid hitting birds right now. And also, basically, you also want to avoid like hitting women, because the heroin is feminine energy. So just be mindful of how you're treating feminine energy out here, especially if they're walking on the walking trails, women walking on walking trails, and the innocent as well. Okay, bye everybody. See y'all later. If you'd like to donate, you can donate to my Cash App at Coach V Hunter. I highly recommend that you join my Substack if you want additional things I talk about. I talk about a variety of stuff, but mostly spiritual literature and my life experiences and things I'm doing. If you want to follow my journey, like, different places I'm doing, activities I'm doing, projects I'm working on, I invite you to go to my Substack. I will post the link again one more time in the community news when this video ends. If you'd like to send a donation to my PayPal, I will also post that information in the community news when this video is over. Have a good day, y'all, and enjoy the fresh air. Bye, everybody.